Hello there, boys and girls, and welcome to It's a Shaw Thing. I'm your host, Rob Shaw. We're talking some college football today. We're getting close to that time of year where we start to ask ourselves, a playoff system would be nice to help decide what is the best team in the nation. Well, this time around, we might actually have that decision made up for us because the schedule is pretty good. In fact, this weekend alone, we've got 4 games that are going to help us decide who truly are the elite teams in the nation. The first game to discuss, number 8th ranked Texas Tech going against 19th ranked Kansas. I already heard one ESPN analyst say that Texas Tech is the most overrated team in the nation. Personally, I could not disagree anymore. The fact is, how can you say that about a team with the best wideout in the nation in Mike Crabtree, as well as one of the best quarterbacks in Graham Harrell? These two guys could put up unbelievable numbers, and the fact is they could beat any team on any given Saturday. That being said, they will have their hands full. Kansas is pretty good this year, but they already do have 2 losses on the year. They have some good offense, but that defense is not going to be able to stop the Red Raiders. Look for the Red Raiders to do exactly what they did back in 2005. Knock off the Jayhawks. And if they do that, then perhaps next weekend they'll have a chance for the number 1 spot against Texas. But that, of course, is if Texas wins. And that takes us to game number 2. Texas will be hosting number 7th ranked Oklahoma State. Now, last year, Oklahoma State was best known for a guy by the name of Mike Gundy. Remember, he started yelling at the press saying that, hey, I'm defending one of my players. There's no need to go after him. Personally, I respect what Gundy did. This time around, it's the Cowboys who are doing all the talking on the field so far, particularly Kendall Hunter, one of the best running backs in the game, certainly getting some attention for the Heisman Trophy. Now, another guy is doing very well, perhaps overachieving. Who would have seen this coming from Colt McCoy, quarterback of the Longhorns? He has been sensational so far. Now, if you're looking for a key statistic in this game, very simple. 283 rushing yards per game for the Cowboys, only 48 allowed per game for the Longhorns. So who gets the edge in this one? The fact that it's being played at Texas, I'm going to give it to the Longhorns. They're going to maintain that number 1 spot, knock off the 7 team, and perhaps they'll face the 7 team next week if the Texas Tech team does win. All right, next up, let's talk about game number 3, and here we are, the SEC showdown of the week. It'll be number 9 Georgia going against number 11 Louisiana State. Now, Louisiana State is a good team and all, but perhaps their schedule is a little weaker than we originally thought. They lost 51-21 against the University of Florida, which is in the SEC East, just like the Bulldogs. And aside from that, yeah, LSU has won all those games, but those games, when you look at the list, aren't all that impressive. Particularly that big win against Auburn doesn't look that big anymore, considering how poorly Auburn has played. As far as Georgia, they have some issues up front on the offensive line, but they do still have quarterback Matthew Stafford who can make things happen, and Gnashawn Marino could run the ball past anyone. So this should give the team plenty of offense, and it's really their defense that gives the Bulldogs the edge over LSU. Despite the fact they're playing in Baton Rouge, I'm going to give this one to the Bulldogs. Expect them to come out victorious, setting up a great showdown in the cocktail party against the Gators. All right, and finally, the last game to really pay attention to this weekend. Penn State coming in ranked number 3 in the nation. They'll be going against Ohio State, which is ranked 10th. Now, is Penn State really that good? Perhaps, but as good as they are, it might not be enough to go against this team in Columbus because Ohio State is red hot. Yes, they lost by an ugly number against USC earlier in the season, but since then they've won 5 in a row, including last week, knocking off then-ranked 20th in the nation, Michigan State, by 38 points. Now, of course, the 2 big names to know as far as Ohio State goes is Terrell Pryor as well as Beanie Wells. Penn State, though, in my mind, is the best all-around team in the nation. Their defense and their offense should be enough to get them by this game. I see Penn State competing for the national title at year's end. Well, my friends, that's It's a Shaw Thing for now and your college football preview. Tomorrow we discuss fantasy football to get you amped up for Week 8. Until then, have a great day.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.